No, it's in progress. All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us today. We have Freddie Mac and quite a few guest speakers from around the state and also from Freddie Mac. So I'm going to do some introductions. Today's topic is empowering your home buyers, and we will be talking about the CreditSmart financial capability and home ownership education resources that will help home buyers. So I'm going to do a few introductions and then we'll go ahead and get started.
You have a lot of feedback on your mic.
Do I?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry about that. I know I have a big air conditioner and that you can kind of hear, but is everybody else am I sounding okay?
I don't hear it. I
Okay.
think you sound okay, but it could just be me. Sounds fine.
All right, let's go ahead and get started. So we have Monica LaCrue from Freddie Mac here. She has been our gracious host this whole time throughout this. We had what did we do, Monica? Like 6 or 7 in 2020?
I think we did about 3, but they're all recorded. So if you guys want to go back and watch them.
And this is our last one of the series. So we have Carolina Valderrama. She is here from Freddie Mac. She is an affordable lending and housing outreach manager in the single family client and community engagement division. And she manages the CreditSmart financial capability program nationwide. We have Loretta Kale, who is the statewide director of home ownership and Parkview services. And she has been involved in the mortgage and real estate industry for over 40 years and has worked in nonprofit home ownership for the past 12. She's also in the Spokane area. And we have Elizabeth Perez, is the deputy director at the Washington Home Ownership Resource Center. And she earned an undergraduate degree in English and International Studies, as well as a Master of Education in Teaching and Learning from the University of Utah. I'm just going to make those quick. If you want to add more when you introduce yourself, please feel free to, but I do want to jump into today's presentation. So I'm going to hand it over to whoever's starting first. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. My name is Elizabeth Bittis. I'm the Deputy Director of the Washington Homeownership Resource Center. I'm based in Pullman, but WHRC, our nonprofit, is actually based in Seattle and serves the entire state of Washington. I'll talk more about what WHRC is and our relationship to housing counseling shortly, but I want to give Loretta, my colleague, a little bit of time to introduce herself as well.
So my name is Loretta Kale. Thank you all for coming. I am the statewide director of homeownership with Parkview Services, which is a nonprofit HUD certified housing counseling agency. Again, I've worked in all arenas, for-profit and nonprofit. And so I'm excited that you guys are going to learn a little bit about what we do.
Thanks, Loretta. Loretta and I look forward to sharing information with you about housing counseling, its benefits, how we can work as a team, housing counselors and realtors and lenders and all the folks that really make a difference in the home buying experience for our clients. What I want to share with you first is a little bit about WHRC, the Washington Homeownership Resource Center, and how we can serve as a resource for home buyers statewide. So WHRC is a 501c3 nonprofit. Again, we do serve the entire state of Washington. Among the many things that we do, we operate the state's official foreclosure prevention hotline. We serve as an information and referral hub by way of our hotline, which answers all homeownership related phone calls from clients throughout the state, as well as our online portal. We offer home buyer support and access to information and referral services, everything from accessing a HUD certified housing counselor for being able to have someone help steward their way through the homeownership journey, to information about products and services, things like self-help housing, community land trust, down payment assistance, and all the various tools and tricks and resources that are available for home buyers statewide. So we do offer home buyer support. We also offer foreclosure prevention information and referral services. And then we make sure that we are staying abreast of home repair and modification resources statewide, so that if we have inquiries ranging from, someone needing critical roof repair or modifications to their home because of a disability, that we can direct them to where folks might be able to assist with those fixes or modifications for their house. We have our homeownership hotline and portal. So our hotline is what it sounds like. Folks can actually call our 877 number and be able to speak with a live person Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 Pacific time, and get information pertaining to homeownership needs, be that foreclosure, be that home buyer support, or home repair, modification, etc. And then we have our online portal, which we're actually in the middle of revamping right now, which will really be a digital homeownership tool that can help someone chart their home buying journey, their home ownership journey, and be able to link them to needed resources along the way based on their circumstances. So if there's, say, a lower credit score, how might they be able to repair that? If they can benefit from down payment assistance, etc., making sure that folks can go to kind of that central entry point, being our portal, to get that journey started, connect with a HUD certified housing counselor, and more. We are Washington's connection to HUD certified housing counselors like Loretta. HUD certified housing counselors are fabulous. They're part of this home buying team. I'm not going to steal Loretta's thunder. She's got a lot to share with you about that. But one chief takeaway that I would hope you all have today is that if you have home buyers who need an extra hand, just a little bit more, financial education or learning the ropes about the home buying process, have them call WHRC. That's the Washington Homeownership Resource Center. We'll share the 800 number with you shortly, and we can connect folks statewide to a housing counselor who can be their advocate and their guide throughout this process. I want to talk a little bit about the Black Home Initiative and how it involves realtors in the state of Washington. Washington Homeownership Resource Center, as well as Parkview Services, Loretta's employer, and others, are part of a large and concerted effort to increase Black homeownership in the state of Washington. We know that's a critical need, and we know that Black households in the state have long been experiencing still existing barriers, everything from appraisal bias to bias in the lending process as a whole. Redlining still exists and is alive and well, unfortunately, nationwide. And of course, here in the state, we've had some ongoing issues. And so we are working together as part of the Connecting Capital and Community, or 3C project, which is a nationwide initiative supported by JP Morgan Chase. And our goal within the state of Washington is to increase Black home ownership in Washington, initially beginning where there's more of that population, so centering on South Seattle, South King County, and North Pierce County. This is a very big effort. It's very exciting to be a part of it because it involves the different sectors around home ownership. So we have partners ranging from realty to lending, housing counseling agencies, so nonprofit folks, government entities, and more. We really need more realty partners, folks who can help us establish and then be part of a vetting process to be trusted realtors that we can feel confident sending Black home buyers, especially first-time home buyers, low to moderate income home buyers, to you, to be able to not re-traumatize folks or introduce additional bias, but rather help break down those barriers and increase Black home ownership in the state. So if that sounds like something you're interested in doing, this is my plug to please get a hold of me after this presentation. We would love, love, love to have more realty partners involved in the BHI. What is WHRC's role with BHI? We are that sort of entry point for home buyers, so that as we, as a community here of folks who are interested in purchasing their first home, they know where to go. They can go to the WHRC website, go onto our home ownership portal. We have a major revamp happening of our existing portal right now, but folks can already use the existing portal to get in touch with someone. In May, we're going to have a larger revamp in an effort to make sure that we're ready for that increased amount of home buyers that will go through and need these services. And so you can already start directing folks to our website and our hotline. We're excited to work with you as part of this effort. All right, kick us away, Loretta, on home buying, or sorry, housing counseling.
Yes, home buying, that's what we're all about. That's what we all do. Yeah, so a lot of people are not aware of what a HUD housing counselor is. They hear the word counselor and they think that it's in some way punitive, or that this person is less than any other applicant. And it's the exact opposite. HUD feels very strongly that in order for us to avoid going through another housing crisis, we need more educated homeowners. And so being able to partner with a free service such as HUD Housing Counseling and the lender and the realtor, we can form a team that creates wraparound services for that first-time home buyer. The default rate for somebody going through the counseling process has historically been much lower. And so there is great emphasis for us to expand our programs and make sure that everybody is aware that we're here. It's amazing when I talk to realtors, I'll just go in and do a presentation in an office and they have no idea that we exist. They have no idea that this resource is in Washington State. Everywhere. I cover every county in the state, and it's free. And what we're going to give back to you throughout the process is somebody who understands everything that they're going through. So it's a process that you work in tandem. It isn't happening to them, it's happening with them. And we also provide resources for post-purchase. So their life is not going to remain the same for 30 years, even though their mortgage will. And so having a housing counselor that they can reach out to after the closing at any point, just for guidance, budget management, maybe help with credit, maybe think something has happened. We're also here for that. So we are HUD certified, meaning that we take a test just like you. I've taken my real estate test. I've taken my lending test. I think the HUD certification test was one of the hardest. They really want us to help create home buyers that are the smartest person at the closing table. So don't be afraid to partner with us and know that you're going to get that client back, but maybe there are areas that aren't your expertise, things that we can help them with, so you can focus on making sure that you're doing your job as their agent and getting them into a home that's affordable and sustainable. And we're a part of the team. And this is what I really want to emphasize, because I felt like, oh, they're getting a special down payment, or there's a reason why they have to get housing counseling. Everybody, every first-time home buyer should have access to this resource, whether they're getting down payment or not. And a first-time home buyer is somebody who hasn't owned a home in the last 3 years. You know how much things change in 3 years. So if somebody hasn't been a homeowner in that amount of time, there are so many more things that they need to learn and understand about the whole process. And especially in the world of doing it virtually, it's just another way for them to make sure they're connecting to a resource that can answer their question. So some of the assistance programs that are offered through the Washington State Housing Finance Commission for down payment, they include Home Advantage, Home Choice. There are a lot of specialty down payments in the city of Seattle, in Tacoma, different areas. A HUD housing counselor knows all of those programs. I know how to use every single one of those. If you tell me you have a buyer looking in Marysville, I'm going to know what's available in that county for that client based on their income, based on their household size and their need. And so you don't have to go and do that research yourself. You have a resource through the hotline and through the counselor to access that information, so that, again, you just focus on what you do best. We increase their buyer readiness. We help them with their savings plan. We help them understand a budget. right? When they get approved for a loan, and let's say it's at 40% of their income, that's not real, right? That number is based on their gross income, not their net income. And the lender isn't going to consider such expenses like childcare. And that's extremely a large percentage, especially for single parents. And so that's something that we're going to talk about. Again, we don't want to create home ownership for somebody that's not sustainable. We want this to be the greatest gift that they give to their family, the biggest creator of generational wealth. And the only way that can happen is if they're able to maintain that asset. And that's through maintenance, budget management, and in understanding the whole process. It's not the same as renting. If you've never taken care of a home, you need some additional guidance when it comes to just basic maintenance and other things that we do. So what's in it for you as a realty partner? So I was a realtor, and I know that you are going to create your business plan, right? This is what we do in January of 2023. We're going to decide who we're going to market, who's going to be our core base of business. And if you are not working with first-time home buyers, you are losing a huge percentage of the market. I know that, and this is statistically, the application volume for purchase is up 30% from where it was in January of 2022. Now, interest rates are also higher. Inventory really hasn't changed much, yet the need for people to get out of transitional housing, to get out of rentals, and to get into their own space where nobody can raise their rent and nobody can sell their house, it's huge. And so if you're not taking advantage of working with this population and building a business around it, first-time homebuyers are the greatest source of referral you will ever get in your life. They are so appreciative that you answered the phone. They are so appreciative all the help that you give them. This isn't the realtor where you're waiting for someone to come in with 10 offers and you pick the best one. This is a business that you build around molding people, helping people, creating community, reaching into those populations that are underserved and marginalized because nobody's taking the time to offer them the support that they need in a way that makes sense for their family, right? A lot of families don't talk about finances. They've never owned a home. First-time home ownership can look different in your 50s than it did in your 30s. And we know that. Parkview Services also specialize in helping families with disabilities. We offer unique down payment programs for those households because we understand how difficult it can be when you're living on fixed income to be able to save. Everybody has to have a credit score. It's the only way we're going to even the playing field. We may not like it. I grew up in a world of FHA without a credit score, but this is the new world order for us. And everybody needs one. So we help people create credit without going into debt. And they're so proud of themselves and they share that with everybody. So the realtor is one of the most important parts of this process because they're going to be out there with the buyer, holding their hand and looking at properties that they can afford, that they're qualified for, that will satisfy a home inspection requirement and are sustainable. So it's just very important that you guys know this resource is here. And I know that a lot of lenders are aware of us, but I find that realtors are the least aware of what this resource offers. And if you're in this for the long haul, this is your career, this is an important thing that you need to know about. We put together a video. This is just one of many, but it kind of shows you the impact of having the relationship between the lender, the realtor, and the first-time home buyer, and what this has done for this family. It's amazing. We're going to send you the link. It will come with these slides from Freddie Mac so that you can view it on your own. And I have additional videos as well if you're interested in that. But there's nothing more valuable than somebody actually telling you what that firsthand experience felt like.
Thanks so much, Loretta, for that great overview. Hopefully that was helpful for folks who have not historically worked with housing counselors so that they know what an important resource you are and how you can serve as part of that home buying team for great outcomes for home buyers, especially those left out of the homeownership space for so long. I noticed there's been some really great questions in the chat, and I want to address them here while we're sharing these resources. Some folks asked, where can we refer a home buyer? So again, statewide, if you have a home buyer who could use this additional help, and most can, right? We don't know what we don't know. I think housing counseling is for everyone. You can refer them to the Washington Homeownership Resource Center website or hotline. So I have our website listed here. It's homeownership-wa.org. That will show them our hotline number, which you have here, as well as give them access to our online portal. So sometimes you have folks who just want to leave a message, right, without talking to a live person. Others do want to talk with someone straight away. Either option is fine, and either option will get folks to a housing counselor. We have a wonderful network of housing counselors statewide. You don't have to remember based on your county, who's the best fit. You might not even know that depending on the person's circumstances. But let us serve as that, initial entry point. What our information and referral services staff do is they take a basic intake, find out some more about the client, where they live, what their circumstances are. For example, Loretta mentioned that there's special resources like down payment assistance for folks with disabilities. By gaining some initial information from folks, we can know where best to direct them and make sure that they get to a solid HUD certified housing counselor who can help them on this journey as part of a partnership with their realtor, you. So thank you so much. I put our contact information in the chat, but it's also here. Again, my name is Elizabeth Bittis. I'm with Washington Homeownership Resource Center. We're that information and referral service, or that starting point for folks to access housing counseling. And then my fabulous colleague, Loretta Kale, Director of Homeownership at Parkview Services East. We are located in Eastern Washington, but again, we serve the whole state. So regardless of county.
Sorry, I wanted to just real quick before Carolina jumps on. I wanted to answer the question regarding how do we get that client back? I get that question every single day. We want to work in partnership with you. We're not trying to steal your business, trust me. So if you've established a relationship with that client, they should want to continue that relationship. We're not looking to take people and then farm them out differently. We want all of you to be our partners. We don't have a list of certain people who do certain things, and then we send your clients to them. This is your client. This is your partnership. You can reach out to me directly and say, hey, Loretta, I'm going to send somebody through the hotline. And if you want me to work with them specifically, they can put that in when they contact Elizabeth's agency and say, hey, I'd like to work with Parkview. And that's how the whole relationship begins. So we want this to be a team. It's the only way that this is all going to work together. So thank you all very much.
Thank you, Loretta and Elizabeth. And yes, you're right. We just want to collaborate. And because of that, we need to learn the education piece in all of this, right? So by raise of hand, who can tell me about CreditSmart? Or if you know what CreditSmart is? Let's see here. We have 20 participants today. Maybe you can use the tool at the bottom to let me know whether you know what CreditSmart is. And Monica can share later. But okay, so I'm happy to tell you all about our CreditSmart and what is that, right? So we're going to cover the essentials part of CreditSmart. What is CreditSmart Coach, Homebuyer U, multilingual, the military piece, and we're going to end up with the promotional toolkit before we go into our Q&A questions and sessions. Okay, and what is CreditSmart? CreditSmart is, it has evolved over the years, but now we call it a suite because we have a lot of resources under CreditSmart. It is a suite of financial capability and home ownership education resources that are very valuable for consumers and practitioners. And I am sharing the URL at the bottom of the slide so you can bookmark the page later on. I'm assuming you are going to receive a copy of this presentation. And we can move forward, please. So let's think about the whole CreditSmart suite as a house, right? On one side of the house, we have our financial capability resources. And on the other side of the house, we have the home ownership education, which is Homebuyer U. And we are going to go into details later on for each of them. We overhauled the program 2021, so a year and a half ago, and we launched it in the summer 2021. It was our 20th anniversary. So yes, CreditSmart has been going on for 21 years total. So we're very proud of what, the product and how it has evolved over all of these years. Next. So yes, we have a little bit for everybody. CreditSmart Essentials is mostly for consumers. Then we have CreditSmart Coach, which is for practitioners like yourself. Then we also have the CreditSmart Military Financial Readiness booklet that pertains to the military population. Then we have the Multilevel Resources in Spanish, Vietnamese, Chinese, and Korean. And of course, the Homebuyer U, and like I said, I'm going to talk about it later on in the presentation. We do have Homebuyer U in English and in Spanish. So that's also a great resource for those of you who has a really, big, strong Hispanic footprint in the community. So let's start with CreditSmart Essentials. It is very robust. It has 5 learning paths and all comprised has 48 micro modules. So for the first one, set goals to guide, and we can look forward, Monica, please. We have 4 different, before we go there, let me show you where, there. Let me show you where you can find CreditSmart Essentials. Here's our URL that you can bookmark later if you want. But everybody who wants to take Essentials have to create a profile first, and then you can just continue at your own pace whenever you want, from any type of device, like a computer, a laptop, a mobile, a tablet, whatever it is, and you can continue into the program that way. This program takes about 6 to 8 hours to complete, but you don't have to rush, right? It's not a competition to finish. The whole idea is that you go through the program and you analyze each of the topics. And with that, we can move forward. So let's go into the first one, set goals to guide. That offers us 4 modules, and they are the basics, right? The basics of the whole CreditSmart financial education program. We talked about different type of money stories, which is a concept that we have introduced in this curriculum. The concept of the personas and the money stories didn't exist before, and we have gotten great feedback about that. So I am going to spend some time talking about it later on in the presentation. The next learning path is Earn, Then Spend Smart, and it has 7 micro modules. Then we go with, and you can continue, Monica. Then we go with Be a Savvy Bottleware, which has 15 micro modules. It's very lengthy, but very important. We introduce concepts like how to calculate a DTI, for example, how to read a report, how to manage debt and credit. So this is a great, it's basic, but the information is, I think, very, very important for all type of consumers, whether they are looking into buying a home or not. Can we continue, please? Then we have Plan to Save, and that one has a total of 9 micro modules. And we are also introducing the concept of renting. What is renting? How do I prepare to rent? We didn't have this in the previous curriculum. So we have also gotten great feedback about this piece because it's also important to cover our renters overall. We have also introduced, and we can move forward, the vehicles, how to finance our vehicles, how to prepare for an emergency. In here in this learning path, Prepare and Protect, which has 13 modules. So I think that's the last one, Monica. Yes, so 5 learning path and 48 micro modules total. It is very robust. It is very user friendly. We have introduced the personas that I told you about, and this persona, the concept of the personas are think about different type of situations, right? Depending on that persona, we are going through analyze a particular situation, and it's very relatable, especially to our consumers that take the program. So this is just a new concept, and the feedback has been very positive on that. We have videos as well, interactive calculators, infographics, and we have this dashboard. It's called My Portfolio, and it provides an opportunity for the user who is taking the program to check on their progress and see how many modules they have completed, how many badges they have earned. You can also go and type notes throughout the entire program, and you can refer to those notes at the end of the program if you need to set up some goals and set up some tracks, right? Learning tracks to see how you can achieve those goals. So this dashboard is also on the profile on CreditSmart Essentials. And we also have the diploma. This diploma is just Diploma of Achievement. With this diploma, you cannot, so when we go back further in the presentation, I'm going to talk about Homebuyer U, which is the one that probably you are interested in knowing, but this is just for the consumer to let them know that they have achieved financial education, right? But this one doesn't satisfy the homeownership education requirements for our affordable mortgage products like Home One or Home Possible. But it's just there, and it's just a nice paper document to hang on our walls, right? If that's the interest of the person taking it. Then we have CreditSmart Coach for practitioners. It is our Train the Trainer program. I have the URL there at the bottom, but we only offer this for mortgage and housing industry professionals. We offer about 2 to 3 maximum cohorts a year. So what we do typically is that we inform our industry partners in advance so you can know and plan accordingly whether you can take it or not, because on this program we have a lot of activities. It has to be completed in 3 months, so there is some criteria that needs to be met in order for you to get the certification. And on the right hand side you can see the dashboard of a user who have completed this program. So it has a total of 14 activities. Monica, if you can move forward. Yes, it has a total of 14 activities, 3 months period. Like I already mentioned, it can be completed between 20 and 25 hours. All of the activities are mandatory, and you can see them on your left-hand side of the screen. The CreditSmart Essentials program is part of it. So if you're planning to become a coach, so you can just wait until you register for coach to take Essentials, because then you're going to have to take it again. Then we have the facilitator overview, which is another introduction for people who would like to teach the program. We also have discussion boards, It's very interactive. You have to answer some questions. So we want you to think. So that's the reason why we have incorporated that on there. We have some homeworks, we have live Q&A sessions, the master classes, which are mandatory, the survey, the test, and the certificate. And those of you who get this certification will also have an access to the facilitator toolkit, which has presentations like slide decks for you to, to be able to deliver the content. It also has facilitator guides, participant guides, and it also has another diploma that you as a facilitator can provide to the consumers who are taking your program. In addition to that, it has infographics, it has a wonderful glossary and a message center so you can communicate back and forth with the admins of the program throughout the cohort. We have our next one. It's going to be in spring 2023. So in probably 2 or 3 months, we are now doing the logistics for that. I am the manager for Coach. So everything Coach, you can ping me and I'll be able to answer anything. And this is how it looks. It has a dashboard. It also has the My Portfolio, so you can see the progress, resources, and all of the things that you can find in this program. Next, please. So I already talked about the 14 activities, but this is like an outline of all of them, which we provide at the beginning of the program. As soon as you register, you have to participate in an info session, and we are going to provide all of that. So it has a description of every single activity. Okay, next, please. This is just sample infographic. Steps to homeownership, for example, they are very colorful and very useful. Some of them have, it's like a 1-pager, others have 2 or max 3 pages. And the toolkit, I already mentioned to you, it's only available for those who get the certification. And here it is, here's the certificate. And this one is valid for 2 years from the time you completed the program. And next. And now let's talk about Homebuyer U. So Homebuyer U is available in English and Spanish. So this is a great advantage. And it is comprised of 6 micro modules. It can be completed between 2 to 3 hours, perhaps. And this one provides a certificate of completion, which is that certificate that the consumer can provide to the lender that it's working with that consumer to engage them into a affordable product, right? Freddie Mac mortgage affordable product. So it meets the requirements for homeownership education and counseling. It also has a great tool in the profile. When the consumer creates the profile, it allows that consumer to put an additional name for another person to receive that certificate. So call Bottleware, and also, of course, the lender whom they are working with. And on the right-hand side, you can see all the titles of the topics. Okay, it has knowledge checks, it has audios, videos, calculators, infographics. You can pause, you can continue, do it as you go on the bus, on the metro, whenever you think it's good for you to take this. So it's very, very convenient. It has a final quiz, and you have to pass it in order to receive that certificate of completion. Again, it's in English and Spanish, and you can go back and forth between English and Spanish as well, in case you need to look up for a certain terminology. And this is how it looks inside. I just put that slide there so you can see how it looks like. And we host this in a different platform. It's not the same as CreditSmart Essentials. So basically you have to create 2 different type of accounts for each one. Okay. And this is the final certificate, which is valid, and this is the one that it's provided to the lenders at the end of the course. And this is great for first-time home buyers, CreditSmart Homebuyer U, but also it is also very useful to engage the consumer early on in the process so they know who are the players in the whole home buying ecosystem, right? So it's a great resource for you as a realtor to provide to your customers. And here we have CreditSmart Multilingual in Espanol. And we also have it in languages that I already mentioned, the Asian languages that we have. We are currently in the process of overhauling CreditSmart Essentials in Espanol, and it will be ready by this summer. So yes, another great opportunity for our Hispanic consumers to take it. CreditSmart Military, it's a booklet that we created with the VA Rep Department, the Veterans Associations of Real Estate Professionals in 2016. I believe it is 27 pages and it can be downloaded for those of you who, you know, who serve the military personnel and service members. And the URL is right there as well. So pretty easy. All of our tools are very easy with those URLs. You can just get to them right away. And here, last but not least, we have our promotional toolkit, which is also very powerful because it has tons of different materials, collateral that can be co-branded with your logos, right? It has also social media templates, and it has different fact sheets, invitations, brochures, postcards, flyers, so tons of different marketing materials that we have created. And this is on our website, also in the URL that I am sharing with you. And I think with that, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Monica, to continue with the rest of the presentation.
Thank you, Carolina. So lots of information. Again, we just wanted to highlight the opportunities and resources that are available for you when you are interacting with first-time home buyers. We all know that a prepared buyer is the best type of buyer to work with. There's a lot of questions they usually have that, you know, we have provided all the answers to, right? These are free resources that are available for you to interact and provide to your clients. That way they are ready for home ownership. One important thing that I do want to emphasize as we get towards the end of the presentation is that it's not just about getting them in the home, right? Making that purchase is definitely a big accomplishment, and it can be, you know, a big challenge for some people that need an extra hand to hold along the way. But we here at Freddie Mac really genuinely believe in sustainable home ownership, right? And so by going through this education, providing these tools, partnering with housing counseling agencies are really going to drive home that sustainable home ownership. We want to get them in the home, stay in that home, and start building that generational wealth. And so you are part of that team that's going to continue to drive home ownership, continue to educate real estate, you know, your clients and home buyers about the opportunity that home ownership can provide to their family. So thank you so much for everyone who joined us today. I'm just going to close with a few resources here. This is our Real Estate Professionals Resource Center. We shared a lot of information today about our CreditSmart, but we do have a lot more resources available. This is through the lens of the real estate professional, right? So at Freddie Mac, we work with housing counseling agencies, we work with lenders, we work with other housing professionals. This is the site for those who service the real estate, who are real estate practitioners. So I encourage you guys to take out your phone, bookmark this webpage, sign up for our newsletter. Carolina shared a lot of information about how to go about signing up for the next spring cohort. And I know we dropped in a step-by-step instruction guide on how you can go about signing up to make sure that you're available when that next cohort does open up. It is first come, first serve. So when you do see those dates come through, make sure you are available all of the dates that are mandatory, because if you miss one, you can't make it up. So make sure that those dates work for you in order to sign up to get certified to teach CreditSmart essentials in your community. In addition to that, we would love your feedback. This was part 4 of our 4-part webinar series. I encourage you guys to go back to your YouTube channel to see if there's anything you missed that might be relevant. We do provide all of the PowerPoint presentations afterwards as well. So if you need to go back in and bookmark all of those hyperlinks that Carolina went over, as well as contact information from our friends over at the housing counseling agencies, we encourage you guys to do that and connect and start to build those relationships that are going to be helping more home buyers. But we want your feedback. We want to know if you found this information valuable, what other topics or insights are you interested in learning about? We really want to make sure that we're providing education and tools that are relevant to you and your business. We know the market is constantly changing, and so we want to make sure that we're providing relevant information for you in your educational endeavors. So with that, I'm going to go back to the chat really quickly, see if there's any additional questions. I know we've got a small group here on the phone, so if you guys want to unmute yourself and ask any questions to myself, Loretta, Carolina, or Elizabeth, we encourage you guys to do that now. I don't see any questions now, but don't be shy. We're here for a few more minutes if you guys have anything you'd like to ask. I think that might be it then.
Oh, all right. Well, thank you so much, Monica and Carolina and Elizabeth and Loretta, for your time today. And thank you to everybody that showed up today and participated in this webinar session. We appreciate it. And if you have any questions or need any of the resources mentioned today, please feel free to reach out to them or myself. I have their contact information as well, and I'm able to get the slides and everything. All right. Well, I think that's it. So have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you. Have a great
Bye.
day.
Bye.